We do hear rumblings, regularly as the generations progress in age, about people saying, "Oh, we're losing our community or we're losing our soul." I disagree with that. I think change is inevitable, and change is good. You need to embrace change. My name is Dirk de Pagter. Many people also call me Dick. Same guy. I'm originally from the Netherlands. That's why you hear an accent. If I have a couple beers, it gets a little heavier. I've been in Telluride since September of 1975, which is the time that we all started looking at the future and analyzing what would be the best for Telluride, and if we were going to stay and raise families here, what would be the important things. I mean, Telluride is still written up as a ghost town in some of the books about Colorado ghost towns in the 60s and 70s, and that's what they successfully avoided. Now the question for us is, how do we manage that success? Because that's really what this ultimately comes down to. The scenic beauty won't go away. That's pretty well assured. One of the things that is really, I think, very important for us is to make sure that we create a place that our kids and grandkids feel comfortable coming back to or living in. Means that we need to also create an economic diversity to some extent, that we are not 100% reliant on the resort industry. If we do not guarantee housing for our common workforce and people that want to live here, will clearly will lose our soul. But if additional development takes place, particularly in the deed-restricted area, that pretty much ensures that the strength of our community will be enhanced. If we do not see the demand slowing down in the next 5 to 10 to 20 years, which I don't think we will see, then we need to look at where do we find the land. Again, it needs to be cooperated between the town and the county, which sometimes I feel like we have a little bit too fragmented or provincial type of thinking going on. We need to really look at the region in a broader perspective. I think we need to broaden the conversation on what is deed-restricted housing for, because it's hard, it's difficult to expect to attract young talent with potentially high earning capacity, and therefore economically diversifying Telluride, in a town where they would have to buy a starter home of $2 million. But at one point in time, we just need to, as we were studying in the 70s, is like, what is our maximum population? We also need to make very sure that our school systems, as well as our workforce, has great emphasis and efforts on the integration of, particularly our Hispanic community. And we don't want to end up in a situation where we have too fragmented of a community that cannot talk to each other. One of the things I've always enjoyed living in Telluride is that it was just as easy for me to talk to the owner of the ski area as it is to the guy that's shoveling the sidewalk. And I think we just need to kick our political leaders in the shins with these issues and continue ringing the bell. I remember when my girls first started in the Halloween parade, this is like in the 80s. There were literally a couple dozen kids on the street. Now, they have to close down Main Street for several blocks on just the volume of children. Like in Telluride, I think it's fantastic. I love it. It shows that we have a very young and dynamic community. We just need to make sure that we create enough of the opportunities for those kids to either stay here or come back here after they have been out in the real world, because Telluride isn't really the real world.